Origin Realms is multiplayer Minecraft like you've never seen it before. Whether it be custom blocks, furniture, gestures, cosmetics, or mobs, Origin Realms has it all. And in this series, I'll be playing through the server in survival and experiencing it all firsthand. Now, I've been playing Origin Realms for quite a while, and people who've been following my channel would know that, but I've never properly made a series. I tried starting a series, never went anywhere, but this time I want to actually try something. Some progress will be made on live stream, other progress will just be made by myself, but I will try my best to upload once a month on this series. How it'll work is like those very popular hardcore survival series where it's like they set an absurd goal and then they complete that goal. And that sort of is what I want to do for my series. Except just do it on Origin Realms. A lot of this is going to be new to me. I'm going to be trying replay mod. I'm going to be trying to improve as a content creator. And if you want to watch that journey, make sure to subscribe. This is going to be a completely new thing for me. I've never done survival multiplayer videos. So yeah, if I ever collaborate with any people, I'll make sure to leave their links in the description. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. And let's go to the video. In the first episode of this new series, I'm going to be touring my base and building a creeper farm. I'm going to be touring my base to introduce you to locations that might be interesting or important later down the line, because after all, I've been playing Origin Realms for over 2 years, so my realm has a bit of a history to it. And I'm going to be building a creeper farm because there's a couple of things that you need gunpowder for in vanilla Minecraft, and on Origin Realms those things are way more useful, such as TNT and firework rockets. TNT because TNT duping is a bannable offense, and firework rockets because if you make damage fireworks, it's some of the best damage in the game, and I want to prepare for bosses. So, first things first, let's tour the base. I'll start off at Realm Spawn, which is, if you ever come to my realm, that's my username up top there, you can see what my realm looks like. You've got some really cool things that I'm really proud of. This tree I built, I think, over 2 years ago. These crystals were back when you could place certain crystals in a certain way, and these are now legacy items. People find that cool. And let's go in here. Upstairs, you've got nothing crazy, but you do have a signed book from an admin, which, you know, that was back, or not an admin, sorry, a team member. That was back when me and this team member played together. Quite often. But you see here, hello gamers and friends, it's me, Bingle Beaver. And if you see, if I take this book out, it's an original signed by Pringle Beaver, a team member. He does really awesome skins for the server. So if you're ever on the server and see some cool skins, you can thank him for them, because he always does a really awesome job with them. Then down here, you've got some other stuff. This is a hole that I built. I want to work on it, and that'll probably be a topic of a later video. But there's nothing here that's too crazy. You've got this little build that I did for a competition, which I'm proud of. You got that over there, which is the build for my Lunar New Year fashion show. You got a couple unfinished projects. That's something you'll notice, by the way, is that I've got a lot of unfinished projects. And then this here is just a build that I did with Captonium on stream. And then over here, you've got this sort of quarry thing. I want to build a story to my realm, but obviously building a story takes time. And I have some cool builds I want to do, but the builds that I want to do are looking like it's going to be really expensive, because one of the things I want to build is a pipe, and the pipe design I want to build, it requires netherite pillars, which is really expensive. So yeah, and then down here you've got where I did my first fashion show. I haven't done one in a while, and that's something that I've talked about before, but you know, I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of this build. I'm proud of a lot of the builds in my realm. And then this is where the tunnel ends. I have a plan to expand it and go all the way through my base, but there's nothing else crazy down here except for that, but that's nothing. If you come to my realm, you can go down there and see it, but there's nothing down there that's too crazy. On the other side of this hallway is my art gallery. So this is where I store all of the art paintings, not art paintings, all of the paintings that I've collected from both Sketchy and Events. Sketchy is a guy that sells art on the server, and I really like it. My favorite of these is probably this one. My favorite portrait is probably this nether one. My favorite 1x1 is probably this one. My favorite 2x1 is probably this Enderman. I really like the Enderman. And then my favorite 2x2 is either the Aurora Borealis or this one. Nah. No, you know what? No, I'll be definitive. It's this one. I love how the painting changes. All of the event paintings have something cool about them, and they're always fun to collect. So if you ever see them on Origin Realms, I recommend collecting them because they're either animated or have this cool thing, and then these two were like the first event paintings they did, so they're nothing crazy. But they still look really nice. Now, back up at the surface, almost missed that, is some, what I'd call the majority of my base. Something that you'll get used to and that I do want to deal with is this god-awful, absolutely disgusting, oh my god, I hate it, chest monster. You see, all of these chests have items that I might need eventually, but quite like a lot of Minecraft players, I just add more chests when I need to get things out of my inventory. So, quite often, something that you probably won't see in these videos is me spending 20 minutes looking for one item because I remember I had it 6 months ago. So, a project that I definitely want to do eventually is getting a storage room set up because, oh my god, I hate this, but I also can't be bothered to fix it. Then, over to the left of the chest monster is something that I'm actually really proud of. It's my Blaze Farm, which, you know, I come over here when I need XP, because something on Origin Realms is custom spawners, you can craft them. And then another thing over here is my storage room, or, you know, it's my enchantment and practical item storage room. Out there in my chest monster is a bunch of blocks and stuff that I might need for building, but in here's pretty much everything that I'd ever want or need for combat or fighting enemies or anything like that. You see I've got every single enchantment. I'm missing a couple, but these ones aren't like anything crazy. They're alphabetized and then numerical as well, so Bane of Arthropods. All the way down to Vanishing Curse. And I'm really proud of this room. Then over here you've got just other useful stuff, potions, bunch of potions, you know. And this room you'll see a lot more use of when I do bosses, once bosses release. So I'll definitely be making videos on that. But when they do release, you know, this is the room that I'll be spending a lot of time prepping in. Then, if you follow this path down even more, you've just got remnants of old things. You've got that when I did an advent calendar, and I need to tear that down for something else in the future eventually. You got the remnants of a bear farm I wanted to build. You've got a build battle competition I did with someone. Then, if you come down here, come through here, this is really cool. I got a friend to do the redstone on that. And then if you come out here, you can sort of see the outside of my base. The outside of my base, once I complete it, will look really cool. But that's a big once, because some of these materials, such as the blackstone and the deep slate, are such an incredibly large pain to acquire, so I don't really work on it that often. But I have plans. I want to finish it eventually. I'm really proud of the design. It's a very dystopian and like totalitarian wall, which I like. I'm still up in the air about what I put on the outside, but if you ever hear me talking about the wall, this is what I'm referring to. It's not even complete, but around most, I don't know, you know what, I'd say around about 20% of it is done, and it just looks like this, and I'm really proud of it. Next is my snow globe. This was something I built before I built that giant present that you saw out there, because I thought that this would be a good place to host it. And then, I don't know why, I just decided to build the giant present instead. But I'm happy with it enough. Like, it looks cool. It's something you'll see, as I mentioned earlier, is that I don't usually tear down my builds. And I don't know whether that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. But, you know, I just don't usually tear things down until I need to. And I haven't needed to, so I've kept a lot of them around. But eventually they'll be moved and built something better that I'm more happy with. Then, down here is my old armory. That little storage place I had is my armory. And in here is my old armory. As you can see, I've got enchanted sets of armor. Over here used to be where my blaze spawner was, and you can still see the remnants of all of my enchantment setup. Down there, you can even have a sneak peek at the hole. That's actually the main reason why this moved, is because this peeks out in the hole, and I don't like that. And then, yeah, over here, you see, I've probably still got stuff in these chests. Yeah, I've got enchanting stuff. I tried building an auto brewer, don't know what I'm doing. Still got some potions over here, like these are Turtle Master. And then in here is something actually kind of valuable. It's these. It's my instant damage arrows. I stored them in this chest because I'm like, ooh, I might need instant damage arrows eventually, I guess. But yeah, here's all my potions. Don't know why I stored them in this room initially. But yeah. Instant damage arrows you can't normally get. I have them from a really, really old player. And I just sort of store them in there just in case they ever end up getting removed. I don't want to lose them all of a sudden. Coming back to the realm spawn and heading in the other direction, you can see some of my farms. Back here's my greenhouse, which contains my Origin Realms crop farm. Used to get a lot of use, doesn't get a lot of use now. Over here, you've got my one-layer sugarcane farm, and to demonstrate just how much I've played Origin Realms, this is how much sugarcane it has generated. It's quite a lot, I know. In here, you've got just, I don't know. Over here, you've got my cactus farm, which, once again, it's a one-layer. That top layer does nothing other than to break this cactus, but I've been playing Origin Realms for so long that I have more cactus than I would probably ever need. Once again, over here is just my smelting thing. I was initially going to set it up to be like a bamboo farm or whatever, but, you know, couldn't be bothered. But in here is just some old stuff that I've smelted. And, you know, I'm actually kind of proud of the build. It was something that I built very early on. And yes, it's on stilts and whatever, but, you know, it's decent enough. And for me to have built it so long ago, I don't know. I've definitely improved the building, but still to this day, it's a build that I'm proud of, because at the time it was probably as good as I could build. Over here, once again, another useless farm that I never finished. It's just a sniffer farm. Drop seeds. Sniffers on Origin Realms work a little bit differently than the vanilla ones seem like they're going to work. But, you know, ancient fern seeds, you know, I can go through and pick them up if I ever need to. And then over here is probably the build that I'm most proud of, and this was the build I did for the Lunar New Year build competition. Really, really proud of this gate. I used Lego as inspiration, but what I ended up making, I'm really, really proud of. And then, you know, you come through here. You can't use string, so I used glass. I've got koi over here. I've got this little stall here. If you were watching me on stream, I was building this, and, you know, I've got these things. I'm really proud of how it turned out. This area, not as much, because, you know, it's sort of like, what's the point? But I think overall, I definitely did something that I'm proud of. I also like how the skybox makes it darker down here just all the time. And then, you know, you've got just a bunch of lanterns up top, which, you know, in terms of builds on Origin Realms, definitely not the best, but I think overall I did a pretty decent job with building it. And then, you know, once again, you've just got legacy stuff that I need to clear up. None of these places are really that important, but if you ever see me running by, I want to answer all of the questions of like, oh, what's that thing? Ooh, what's that thing? Because I want to try and cover them all in this video so that I can just say, watch the first episode of the series. And then you can figure out what everything in my realm is. So the final thing I'll show off is this, and it's the start of a project that I definitely need to finish. Well, I don't need to. I really, really want to finish. And that's my skybox. Up here, I've built a couple of things. This was the entrance of my fashion show when myself and Celestial Sorcery judged. It was a really fun event. And let me know if you guys have watched these streams, because they are streamed. If you guys enjoyed them and want me to bring them back, just leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate some feedback on that. And then over here is a new farm that a friend of mine, Cliff Plays, built. It's a really, really efficient Froglight farm. So efficient, in fact, that... Let me just go through here. This, you know, I've been doing some sorting. But, yeah, and then every single one of these chests is... Oh, no, not that one, but I could fill that up. Every single one of these chests is filled up with frog lights. It's always good, because you never know when you'll need them, I guess. And then the final thing is this, which, you know, isn't anything too crazy. As I said, I'm not good at taking things down. I'm good at putting things up, terrible at taking things down. And maybe that creeper farm will help me take things down because of the TNT. And with that terribly, incredibly awesome segue, let's head over to me building the creeper farm. And just before I go, if you guys are enjoying this video and want to see more of this content, please like and subscribe, as doing so lets me know that this is content that people are interested in. And I really want to make this a series that people enjoy, so if you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down below. Now, let's get to the creeper farm before I keep delaying it. Okay, so I'm going to be commentating over what I'm doing in the background. This took me like 6 hours on stream to build, so I'm just condensing it and time-lapsing it. Started off by filling in the water and digging the holes in the middle. This is when the creepers fall, they go in. Then I moved on to building these pillars. I need to build... I pronounced that weirdly. I need to build 3 of these, one in each of the remaining spaces. I spent a whole stream building one in the background, and then once I'd like figured out that it worked and whatever, I moved on to replicating it. I'm only going to show one, as the process is identical for all of them. It's just, you know, one of those things. If you ever see me space out, by the way, it's just the way replay mod works. When I run off to another area, unloads the chunks, unloads the replay. But, you know, not that big a deal, and in future videos I'll try to fix it. You know, going through now and doing a bunch of stuff, building it how the tutorial said. And just here in a second, we'll move on to the trapdoors. Now, the glass in the trapdoors in this are all for spawn manipulation, to make it so that the only mobs that are spawning are creepers. It's an only creeper farm, which is good because it means the only mobs that are spawning are creepers. Doesn't fill up the mob cap with random garbage you don't need. But, yeah, so trapdoors are there to make the only mobs that spawn creepers, and then, yeah, it's weird to explain, but it just means that only creepers spawn. And then this part that I'm doing here, and unfortunately it unloads a couple of times because I was obviously running off to get redstone materials, but it's going in and filling in everything here with repeaters and comparators and whatever, and this just means that when you turn it on, the little chain in the middle of dispensers and observers actually triggers and releases water. And then the final step for the farm is to cover out, I think it's 7 blocks from the furthest point of the top stone, or 10 blocks, I can't actually remember. And then you cover everything in stone slabs. That's because mobs can't spawn on top of stone slabs. And you cover it in darkness so that mobs can actually spawn. I then also had some complications with the AFK area. I remember doing some testing that I didn't record, but it basically showed that when creepers were falling from the farm, they weren't actually hitting the bottom. They were being unloaded because of my render distance or whatever. So I moved the creeper farm AFK spot down, and yeah, then I AFK'd overnight, and I'll show you the fruits of my labor now. Okay, so I just finished AFKing in the farm overnight. It was about 8 hours, and I managed to get quite a decent amount of gunpowder. There's still a lot in these chests, but I'm really happy with it. I can use these on fireworks. I can use these on gunpowder. I can use these on TNT. And I'm just overall really happy that I have another farm working. As I've said, I'm trying something new with this series. As the videos go on, the style of these videos will progress. I want to improve as a content creator through making these videos. I want to improve as a storyteller. And this first episode is sort of longer than I want them to be, but I thought I'd go in depth. You know, I thought I'd actually try something because it is something new, and I want to explain what I'm doing. I really do appreciate all of your guys' support, and when this video is coming out, there's only a few hours left for you to get the merch that I'm doing. It's the producer collection. If you've watched this video all the way to the end, it probably means that you're a fan of mine, or at least enjoyed the content. And if you want to support me and get something cool, you can buy a t-shirt, and the link's in the description. And, you know, what is it? $11.59? Yeah, $11.59. March 1st, American or Eastern American, is when they go off sale and they'll never be coming back. It's the first collection I've done, and I'm really proud of it, and I just thought I should advertise that at the end. If you want to see me grow as a creator, want to help me out, please consider liking and subscribing. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, I've been CoCap, this has been Origin Realms, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.